Disclaimer, if you are doing questions with inequalities, you are going to need this information up here. So as explained, if you are new to Algebra 1, welcome. You were not expected to know how to do this right away when you walk in Algebra 1 class, but you should have some knowledge about graphing inequalities on a number line, as well as just solving inequalities in general, or solving at least two-step equations. So on the top here, you can see that I've already written a little kind of a key for these. You are going to need to know whether it's an open or closed circle. So if your signs are greater than or less than, you're going to have an open circle. And you'll see what that means in a minute. You can see it, this is an open circle right here. If it's a closed circle, it's because the line is underneath the inequality symbol. So if we take a look at this one has an inequality symbol with a line in it, under it. So you know that it's going to be a closed circle. So you can write that ahead of time. If you want to make sure you don't forget that, just put closed. So that way you know whatever your answer is going to be, it's going to be a closed shaded in circle. Now, solving the inequalities, not necessarily a huge issue. However, there's a little bit of an issue when it comes to negative numbers in front of a variable. We'll talk about that in just a minute. So the first thing I would normally do, and I'm going to do it because you need to know how to do it, is I'm going to get rid of the 5 because that would be typically what we would do. So we would subtract 5 on both sides. Now you got to be careful right here with this because when you cancel that out, that's fine and good. This, that's going to be a problem. You'll forget. It's a negative 7b. So when we write that, I'm going to write it over here because I don't have enough space here. But you're going to be left with negative 7b over here in this. This is gone. So now you're just going to have your symbol, your greater than or equal to symbol. And now we're going to have the negative 79 minus 5. Now, make sure you don't screw that up because it's another spot people will mess up. Negative 79 minus 5 is going to be negative 84. All right, so that's problem area numero uno. All right, next problem is, typically you should know how to do this, right? We're multiplying, so the opposite operation would be to divide both sides by that negative 7. We're going to do that. We're going to have problems. This is going to cancel. It's going to be left with v. Because we're dividing, anytime we divide or multiply by a negative in an inequality, this is only with inequalities, this is not with just equations, it's only inequalities, we need to flip that sign. This sign was opened this way, now it's going to be flipped this way. It's still equal to, but it's going to be flipped the other way around. So that's a huge area of problem. Negative 84 divided by 7, negative 7, is going to be a positive 12. Now, this is going to be your answer. V is now less than or equal to 12. And again, the reason for this is because when you multiply a negative and a positive, it actually makes it more negative. So you do have to flip that sign anytime that happens, any kind of division or multiplying of negative numbers. If it's a positive, you don't have to worry about it. So just keep that in mind. Now, closed circle we said. So closed circle at 12, so right below here you see a 12. So we're going to put a closed circle, which means we're just going to make a circle and shade it in. So it's nice and clearly shaded in. Now, the trick is with these, if your variable is on the left-hand side, this only works if it's on the left, the arrow's pointing that way. So that means that my answer is going to go that way. If that's confusing to you, then just read it out. V is less than 12. What's the number less than 12? Any of these things that you see on the number line that is pointing in that left-hand direction. And that, my friends, is how we do this. If you want more questions like these, all of this worksheet and so much more are going to be located in my Are You Ready for Algebra 1 playlist on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And don't forget to like, share, and follow me for this and much more. And we'll see you soon.